article here from dicebreaker.com. Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition writer alleges racist and belittling treatment by White Wolf staff. Writing team reportedly asked to create a player's guide to being a Nazi werewolf. Let's see. Alright, tabletop RPG writer hired to work on the latest edition of Werewolf the Apocalypse alleges discriminatory and dismissive treatment by staff members of White Wolf and Paradox Interactive, apparently including the use of anti-indigenous slurs and a dogged dedication to indigenous erasure within the tabletop RPG's fictional world. It goes on and says, in July, JF Zambrano posted to Patreon a public account of their 10-year blah. Real quick to know about Zambrano is his pronouns are they and he, which makes absolutely zero sense. It's what somebody would do if they were trying to take the piss out of pronouns. They and he. Like, what? First off, it's like you're either he, him, she, they, she, her, they, them, whatever. It's like when you start combining them, and then on top of that, they and he are the same tense, basically. But anyway, whatever. I would say it's neither here nor there, but this is actually pretty, this is pretty much the reason why it's up on archive, because bullshit like that. They call him they the entire time. But anyway, basically talks about how he was brought in, he was approached by Hunters Entertainment, approached him in February 2020 with an offer to work as a primary writer in the upcoming 5th edition of Werewolf, yada yada yada. Goes on, talks about he's overall receptive to the invitation. Says alleges difficulties between Kareem Muammar, White Wolf's brand editor, and the writing team emerged early in their relationship. They talk about they wanted to have the Sword of Heimdall as the primary antagonist, this militantly fascist sect of the larger Git of Fenrir faction are described by Zambrano as literal Nazis. But they wanted to couch that portrayal amongst the younger generation that challenged their forebears' extremist views. Muammar allegedly pushed against this portrayal, suggesting that the writing team were cowardly social justice warriors for being unwilling to work with this concept. And it goes on. As you can tell, that the relationship soured pretty quickly. The editor allegedly refused to capitalize Native American and Indigenous in editing notes and communication, continually used savage as a descriptor for entire tribes, despite being told that it was a harmful slur. The part about not capitalizing, that's one thing, because you just say that's kind of small in the grand scheme. Calling them savage, okay. If this is true, there is kind of a weird part here. Denied changing the name of two Pure Ones tribes, the Uktena, and I don't know if this is supposed to be like an actual, they put that little, whatever that little symbol is instead of the E for Wendigo, or if that's supposed to be the way it's spelled, don't know, whatever. But anyway, basically it just caused a bunch of problems. Nothing ended up happening there. There's some of his tweets. You can read this if you want, because the stuff's still up on Twitter and everything. But they claim to have donated or volunteered dozens of hours of free cultural consultancy in order to defend what they believe were apparent improvements to Werewolf's sordid history with indigenous culture, only to be ignored, stonewalled, or implicitly insulted. And it goes on, yada yada yada. By the time Zambrano decided to bring Muammar's behavior to Hunter Entertainment's management, the publisher had brought work on the RPG sourcebook in-house and dismissed the writing team from their duties. So why did you wait so long if it was so freaking terrible? I mean, what's going on? Were you trying to have a sting operation or something? Whatever. It's like, dude, as soon as it happens, boom, you should get on it real quick. But anyway, he talks about blah blah blah. The entire ordeal soured them on ever working on another tabletop RPG because of their experience as an indigenous person in the industry. Whining, blah blah blah. Dicebreaker reached out to Paradox Entertainment for comment from the company and to Muammar, but did not receive a reply by the time of publication. Yeah. The usual stuff, complaining. I don't know, doesn't seem like there's a whole heck of a lot of evidence, but, I want to believe you, but it's like when your pronouns are they and he, can I actually believe you? Because those are kind of crazy pronouns. If you were like they, them, I'd be a little more, open to you. Not a whole lot, because I'd still be like, that's weird, but whatever. But they, he, like what? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. It's not, it's just another example. White Wolf has gotten more woke and stuff over time anyway. This is the kind of stuff you invite in when you pander to these groups of people and stuff. It's never going to be good enough. You know, they can do anything they can, anything they want to try to open themselves up to woke people, diversity, inclusion, all that kind of stuff. And it's never going to be good enough. You know, again, point proven here on that point, but whatever. Anyway, I'll link this in the description box. You can read it for yourself. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.